welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Today we're going to be starting a 8-day kayak trip. We're going to be going, well, it's going to be well over 100 miles, traveling from Key Largo to Key West. So the sun is set and I am not camping yet. Something's wrong. So I had a late start and we had a 16-mile-an-hour headwind all day, and I just didn't get it done. Didn't paddle fast enough. The island is just ahead of me here. Alright, so here's the kayak parked on our first campsite, and all this is just a hole in the mangroves. But there's trash where people have been here, and they've left little planks so you don't have to wade through the muck like I did the first time. So the evening did not quite go as planned, obviously, but I think this is I think there's a place to camp here. Alright, so there's the opening. That's what I saw last night and camped in. So I was lucky to see that. I was lucky to get that, actually. So this big boat's good on the open water, but it ain't the best in these tight mangroves. Alright, let's get squared away and see what the day holds. So this is morning 3. I'm off the coast of Almirada here, and I had thunderstorms last night. I've got 17-mile-an-hour winds today, but they're going to be a tailwind for me. That first day I was hitting 15s to 16s right in my face, and it slowed me down big time. So hopefully this is going to help me out. The weather's not the greatest. There is a flood advisory on the coast. I don't think that's going to affect me too much. If at any point the weather gets too squirrely, I'm just going to tuck in and find some shelter and wait this storm out. So the day has not started out the easiest. 17-mile-an-hour winds, and I had to go through a crosswind to come back over the main keys. So I was trying to keep my nose out of the way as best I could. Now that I'm over here, I'm just going to hug the shore, try to stay out of the wind best I can. But I got no desire to do any open crossing. So I did have to skip across some open water there. There was wherever the bridges are, the current changes drastically, so I have to stay away from those. And then Long Key kind of hooks out, so if I were to follow the coast, it would take me way farther in than I wanted to go. So I had a pretty good tailwind, actually. I made decent time. I'm gonna stop here and grab a energy bar because I definitely need it. I don't know if it's because it rained earlier or not, but I am the only freaking person out here. I seem to have the Atlantic to myself today. So this is actually the first time I've got out of the kayak during the day for the whole trip. And this is Long Key. And you would just not believe the amount of garbage and plastics I've paddled through this whole time. So there's trash everywhere, but especially plastics. Plastics are the worst. I'm just paddling through bottle caps and forks and fishing paraphernalia.
That's my destination up ahead there, Curry Hammock State Park. So this is Curry Hammock State Park. This is day 4. I've got about 50 miles in so far, and today's a fairly light day, 13 miles. So I took a little bit extra time, enjoyed the sunrise, had a second cup of coffee. There's another refugee boat. I'm almost past the 7-mile bridge, which was not the most pleasant paddle. And I can see 2 more bridges up ahead, so I'm going to stay way the hell away from the road. So that was pretty cool. I had a couple fish follow the shrimp back. And this morning when I was having coffee, I saw an alligator swim along the shore. And then when I was out there, a little shark was sticking out of the water swimming through. So I put a cast right in front of him, ignored it, and reeled it in. And as he was traveling down, I cast it again in front of him. And he didn't like that, he took off. But interesting. Hey, check it out, I caught a barracuda. All right, last day here, last day of the trip. I'm 8 miles from Key West right now. And I have 8 miles to go. Weather's turned pretty rough, so no coffee, no breakfast this morning. I got pretty high winds, and I got 1 crossing. So if I have to kind of wait at that crossing for the gust to die down, I want to give myself as much time as possible. So the plan today is to ease along this coastline. No open, no shortcuts, just holding tight. And when I get to that first crossing, that's going to be from Boca Chica to Stock Island. I'm just gonna have to assess it and see how the wind is, see how the current is. If I can cross it, good. If I can't, I'll wait. If I can't wait it out, then that's as far as the trip goes. So we're 104 in right now, and God willing, we can get it all done. This is a true pray for it kind of trip right here. I just needed a spell where there's no wind, there's no gusts. All right, that is Key West. There's the A1A highway. That was a little sketchy. So I tried to go up the little channel to Stock Island. I was gonna try to cut it in half, and it's like 18-mile-an-hour winds, and couldn't make it. So I turned and tried to quarter. So I tried to have the wind at my back quartering away, and that didn't work either. So that pushed me straight out. I went out way farther than I anticipated. So I said, I gotta get back to where I started from and make another run at it when the wind calms down. So I tried to go back where I started and make a turn, and I couldn't make the turn. Wasn't gaining it, just kept going out further and further. So since that didn't work, I thought I would try to go towards Key West, and it was blowing me that way anyway, so I basically had to fight the waves and paddle in. So if this is the kind of thing you like to see, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in the comment box, and ring the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Burning River Bushcraft. I also teach outdoor classes at Outdoorcore Courses. So there is a pull-out point up ahead here, but I'm going to continue on to Fort Zachary Taylor. But this has been a heck of a trip. It was hard. Do not take this trip lightly if you plan on it. Logistics is not easy. There's not a lot of obvious camping spots. So paddling is one thing, but the ocean is a completely different animal. I was not ready for the Atlantic. I paddled in Florida Bay before, but I'd never done the Atlantic. How is it different? But somehow God got me here, and I have never prayed as much as on this trip. I tell you, this will get your attention. So if you want to visit Key West, buy an airplane ticket. I don't suggest kayaking it. It's cool, but man, you better have your game on. If I do this trip again, I might do this again maybe in 10 years or so, 5-10 years. See if I'm still able to do it, and I will do the Florida Bay side. Stay out of the Atlantic entirely.
So here it is. There's the completion of my 112-mile kayak trip from Key Largo to Key West.